Am I wrong? Am I settling? Husband won't work with me. Me and my husband have been together for 13 years total, married 3. Our relationship has always had its issues, ups and downs, chaos and blessings. We both come from dysfunctional home lives and never really had positive relationships around us to learn from. He's always been calm, quiet, reserved, and I've always been the shy but friendly, random misfit who's outgoing once I'm comfortable type. When we first met, his chill demeanor was a major attraction for me. I grew up with a very loud, obnoxious parent who constantly yelled and fought. I always knew I wanted the exact opposite in a partner, but as we grow older it's been an ongoing issue for me that my husband is too calm, almost robotic in a weird way. He doesn't communicate. Getting him to express emotions is like pulling teeth. He's very blank facial wise but still somehow always looks annoyed unless he's with his friends or his people. Then he laughs, cracks jokes, smiles. He's a totally different person. I've tried to communicate my issues with our relationship, and with him for years. I've tried it all, talking, crying, pleading, writing letters, emails, yelling matches, even sending him other posts that were similar to how I felt, and if he does actually listen it only changes for a few days, then it's right back. On top of it, he always chooses the exact moment when I go to vent to him to use that time for him to pick a problem with me and turn the tables, even though I ask constantly what's going on with him and if I've done something. He says he doesn't tell me things to keep from starting an argument, but he only does so when I'm breaking down. Then there's the fact that he thinks any type of hard topics and heated discussions are automatic fights, so he chooses not to communicate whatsoever or walks away and ignores me, but expects us to be good after he lets me calm down. I also have complained about his lack of romance, intimacy, and effort. I'm the person who will go out of their way to make you feel special, randomly, for birthdays, holidays, all of it. I enjoy making people I love feel cared for. When we were younger I understood he didn't have girlfriends like that, so he was learning, and as we got older I tried helping. I explained my needs and wants, but he continues to choose not to put the effort into me. He's never planned a birthday party for me, never made me a Christmas stocking or Easter basket. I've done both since we got together, never done anything for our anniversary unless I make the plans. He thinks buying flowers and candy a few times these last couple years makes up for everything. He doesn't plan dates ever. He even lied to me for years about us getting married when we were younger, that he had big plans for proposing, and then waited until I was basically like, I don't want to only be the mother of your kids, I want to be a wife, and if you can't do that I'm out. This was after having 2 kids together, to propose on my birthday by warning me the night before, then proceeded to get off work and get on his knee in dirty clothes with a toy yarn ring he took out of a trash bag of random toys a neighbor gave our kids. No thought, no effort, nothing to make the moment special, a moment I had been dreaming of since we met at 16. And he did it because he didn't have anything else planned for my birthday, nothing, once again not even a card, so he figured the proposal would kill 2 birds 1 stone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a materialistic woman, I'm not high maintenance either. I don't want someone to spend loads of money on me. I'm good with a ring pop, but at least put thought into me, show me you care, show me the same love I give to you or close to it. We had a simple courthouse wedding and he chose not to even get a hotel or ask family to babysit so we could have our place alone to be adults for the night. My first few Mother's Days he did nothing for me, not even a card. He always has an excuse for something. He didn't have time, he worked, he didn't have money, needed a ride to the store. Everything I say always has a rebuttal, even when I've told him countless times, make me something, do something with our kids for me. I'm an artist, I have tons of supplies available 24/7 and I love me made gifts. We've had a car since we were 18 and have always lived walking distance to stores. Even when it comes to the babysitter we have always had family to sit for free, parents who offer, but he never wants to take it upon himself to plan it. He expects me to do it, to deal with the kids, find sitters, make all the decisions, set the plans, get us ready. I constantly feel as if I'm having to hold his hand to get by even at home. He works full-time and is sometimes gone for 2 weeks at a time. This is a new job only 4 months in. Before he worked in town. I'm a stay-home mom for the last few years. I do everything kids-wise, house chores, car repairs myself, and whatever else needs to be done for the family, and he thinks because he helps out once in a while everything is cool, but I never get a break from the kids, housework, or adult time to be me. I feel as though I have no identity. My college is on hold due to scheduling conflicts. I also want to be a writer but get no time to sit and write without a kid in my lap or needing me. Everything I do it alone with a kid on me. I get no space and he doesn't understand it. He offers to give me a break but never acts on it. His words never match his actions. If I need help at the house and ask, he always sighs and gives off an annoyed vibe, but when I call it on him I'm overreacting, and even when he does it half-ass or wrong, knowing damn well how to do so. He will see the trash piled up, sink full of dishes, random messes, and choose to ignore it. I'm the type of person who can't think straight if the house is messy, but he will see me cleaning and actively ignore it, or offer help but do it half-ass, like taking the trash out but not putting bags back in, sweep but not move chairs, overcrowd things in the dishwasher, once in a blue moon hell start laundry but that's it, hell forget it in the washer and never touch it again. Plus when he is home I go to bed to a clean home and wake up to his snack trash and water bottles littering the living room like a 16-year-old boy in a Call of Duty marathon. I can't even get a simple foot massage without a sigh, and then he does it for 2 minutes while playing his PS4. And lately these days he thinks if he buys me a book, I love to read, that everything is good. Even with our kids it's the same thing. He doesn't take any time to bond with either of them one-on-one or together. Anywhere he goes with them is because the kids and I invite him. He's a good dad, he cares and loves them but doesn't give them the attention they desire or need. I literally have to plan for him to take them to a park without me, and even then it's very rare. He doesn't actively seek out to have fun with them. He'll be home 10 minutes and our wild child is already on his nerves, or not listening, and it irritates him. He doesn't try to help potty train him either. When it comes to getting something done he uses the phrase we, but ultimately it means me and ends up being me. Our daughter is a daddy's girl with a big teenager attitude who he always tells to stop doing something but never explains why, so she'll understand, and he tells me how they're not actually disciplined as if it's all on me. Our kids treat everyone with respect and kindness, and I encourage them to let their negative emotions be let out with me. It'll take them as long as they know the difference between them having a bad moment and being disrespectful. I'm their safe space. I strive to be different from what my husband and I had growing up, but even now he doesn't see that you can't just expect them to be perfect angels all the time, especially when you don't try to connect with them. I feel defeated. I love this man wholeheartedly, but some days I don't know if I'm in love anymore because I'm tired of begging for simple things like attention and effort. I'm tired of dancing like a goofball by myself in public, singing badly alone in the car, walking the beach searching for shells on my own, exploring new places with only the kids, feeling like I'm annoying. I'm tired of looking over and seeing the man I love with a gloomy face when we're out together as a family. I'm tired of feeling like I'm doing something wrong for wanting more. He stayed though my shitty teenage phase, my anger problems, my postpartum depression, regular depression, major health issues, years of us roller coastering. He didn't run when we had kids, he doesn't cheat, he cooks some days, he pays for our family and works hard for us. He swears he loves me and is in love and all that, but I don't feel it. Am I wrong? Is it me? And I've offered therapy but he always denies it. I feel like I'm growing in a completely different direction than him. While I'm trying to grow and expand my world, he's staying the same. I've worked on my communication skills, anger management, gentle parenting skills. He doesn't challenge me mentally, but I feel bad because in terms of society he's a good man and he is, but I feel like I'm caged. Nothing I do works, but I can't help but wonder if it's me. Am I asking too much? Next story 2. I am having lots of conflicting feelings and issues with my girlfriend. I moved in with my long-distance girlfriend of 3 years back in last October. I adore her to pieces and I want to spend my life with her. However, slowly, little by little, I've been finding myself overwhelmed. For extra needed context, she is trans femme and also has aggressive narcolepsy that leaves her sleepy and no medication to supplement her symptoms. At one point I was working 2 to 3 jobs, office, side business with commissions and SW, and she had no job yet. She finally got hired and quit after 3 shifts because they had her clean off the clock. I do most if not all of the cooking, cleaning, clothes washing and general upkeep. I've tried to have a talk with her several times about this and each time she seems genuinely sorry and says she'll get better about helping, but she doesn't. What's made things even worse is that I was recently laid off, and she still doesn't have a job yet. I'm out of money and we've had to move in with my parents who I left because of the strain on my mental health. She says she has discomfort with all the chores I ask her to help me with because she's nervous about cooking because she doesn't know how and hates the feeling of meat. 2. Dishes because they're overwhelming and she hates wet food. 3. Laundry because she doesn't like the feeling of wet clothes. Etc. etc. Job stuff is because she's nervous about being discriminated against for being trans. And she doesn't have any work experience. And what makes me even madder is that this most recent time I talked to her, she got upset, shifting the blame to my parents, saying it's unreasonable that they expect you to do everything and that they don't help out too while they have full-time jobs. She also gets mad whenever everyone gets home because everyone is so loud and she's used to her home where everyone had their own rooms. I'm at my wit's end and don't know what to do. I love her so much and I don't mind spoiling her a little because I know her disability and things make things hard, but I'm struggling too. I need help and she's not listening. What do I do? What can I say? Next story 3. I fear that my girlfriend of 2 years is incompatible with me after all. I'll try to keep this as concisely as possible, but I'm not a fan of leaving out too much stuff, so it might be long. Please bear with me. Bit of background: I'm a 23-year-old freelance musician, DJ, video creator. I study at an art university full-time, and I work part-time at a museum. She is 22 years old, finished high school and has been working full-time at a bakery after a job in HR. We live in Central Europe. I've been dating my girlfriend for 2 years now. We started out quite slowly, because I am her first boyfriend. I've had several relationships before that personally, but I didn't mind this detail. She is funny, extremely caring and gorgeous, plus most of my past experiences were too fast anyway, so I was more than okay with taking it slow and letting her open up. And she did open up. I fell in love with her after some months and we cried of happiness when we managed to tell each other our feelings. My heart was full of feelings and we moved forwards. However, after 2 years, I often have not so good thoughts about our relationship echoing in my mind. The thing is, she isn't really opening up anymore. If anything, she's closing down and may have even made some bad choices in her life due to the comfort that our relationship gives her. Let's get into it. She didn't have many friends at all, ever. She refuses to engage with my friend group, even though when they're together they have fun and definitely fit. My friend group is open-minded and often hangs out one-on-one with others from the group. She was a painter when I met her, and her paintings were beautiful. After trying once to apply for art uni and not getting in, she completely and absolutely gave up on art altogether, despite the fact that only 5 out of 130 people were taken. She has an extremely hard time telling me about her feelings when she doesn't like something or something hurts her, meaning she will hide it for hours if not days. This has been like that from the beginning and it led to many really hurtful or tiring moments for us, because I can't always guess what's in her mind. The hiding has led to a lack of trust, which really bothers me because I value trust in my personal life so much. I am the one that leads almost all of the time. She doesn't make suggestions about what we could do in a given day, where to eat, start convos and so on. I have to call all the shots and then run them by her, in which case her answer is often I don't know without much more. This gets very exhausting. When we talk about anything regarding us, she gets really defensive and takes my words personally, which leads to her crying and not wanting to talk anymore. This makes communication, including suggestions about how to make our relationship better, extremely hard to approach. Maybe my biggest problem: she doesn't really do much. For these past 2 years, she hasn't had a hobby. She has went out of her way to watch one show, and she dropped it. Doesn't watch YouTube videos if I send her something I think she'd like. Music conversations are bleak too. She just says isn't for me if I show her something that isn't quite her taste and doesn't explore. This means, combined with the not really having any friends, that whenever I'm busy she is just on social media. Mostly TikTok and Instagram. I've tried to tell her multiple times how damaging this is, but she insists it makes her happy and does not stop. This is also particularly annoying if we're hanging out and I have or want to do something else, and she just is scrolling on TikTok until she's annoyed about it. She used to play games long ago, but if I give her a game now, even one she is familiar with, she gets frustrated quickly and says she has no patience for this. If we do hang out with my friends, if me and them have a good conversation, she instantly shuts off and leaves the convo, then eventually the room. No amount of inclusion from my side or comforting has managed to bring her back so far. Sometimes I talk about deeply personal or passionate things about my life of career and her response is a bit of immaturity. She just seems to approach a lot of topics and conversations with a naive, childlike thought process. This spills the most into our arguments, which are often based on how she thinks a relationship should be. It sometimes feels like I'm dating as a 18-year-old again. I guess I should not blame her at all for this, since I should have known what I'm going into, but I am surprised that it hasn't changed after 2 years. Tons of jealousy. She has avoided me on some occasions because I looked at someone wrong, or hugged to greet a friend in a way she thought wasn't quite right. I couldn't get her to tell me what's wrong for hours. This felt especially horrible because I've been cheated on twice and she knows that. The last thing I want to do is put anyone through that. So yeah, the combination of details like these, plus the fact that after 2 years I'm starting to look at our long-term future, are making it really hard for my brain to justify it. It feels awful because we do, or have loved each other so deeply. And we still know how to make each other laugh so much and so often. The physical affection is always there and always amazing, we comfort each other through tough times. She knows that these issues exist, she isn't pretending they don't, but she seems to have no drive to change herself for her own sake, which is the only actual way to change, right? She did have therapy and dropped it after a couple visits, with no wish to start again. I'm also an extremely busy and passionate multimedia artist. I have so many varying interests and my way of living is to always have something to do, or something to work on, and something new to learn about. I have no problem being alone, despite the fact that I love giving affection and spending time together with my loved ones. This is often not compatible with her and it has happened a couple times that whenever I give myself more attention, she has a mental breakdown and feels awful about us. I must add, I am not a perfect boyfriend and I am aware. I have my own fears and insecurities, particularly imposter syndrome and fear of abandonment. I make mistakes and I am often forgetful of important things. But I try to always communicate openly and take accountability for my mistakes as quickly as possible. I try to be as patient and caring as I can be so that she can have the environment to grow that she needs. I can't afford therapy and neither can my parents. I am going to the gym and trying to better myself by myself. What I'm asking for, just your general thoughts about all of this. She has had her own share of hardships and she is in some way always trying to be better. But after 2 years with little progress, I am having a hard time seeing a proper, healthy, and fulfilling future with this woman. I feel guilty for being filled with doubts. I'll try to reply thoughtfully to your comments. TLDR, I'm the first one for my girlfriend of 2 years, and issues such as her settling down, not wanting to engage with my friends, hiding her feelings from me, and not engaging in any hobbies besides TikTok and Instagram have been slowly pulling us apart despite the love, care, and attention that we otherwise constantly show each other.